Feedback. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinda.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you. Feedback, feedback, feedback.
Well, we want to welcome you to the program. Today is September 19th, 2020. My name is Thabiti, and I will be interviewing Brother Percy Johnson. Also, you will take note that Theo Broughton is not here, but she's going to call in, so she'll be a part of the conversation and dialogue as well. Now, as I always start off, I tell everyone to have your pen, and I illustrate it by doing it, pen and paper handy, because you'll never know when there's something that you may want to write down. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll notice the call-in numbers, so feel free to call in. As we do generally in the beginning of every show, I like to give shout-outs. Just found out I had two of my former co-workers. Well, first let me pick this call up, because this may be Theo, and I don't want to leave her holding on hold. So let me do this. Happy Monday. Would you give us your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Oh, yes, my name is Ella Watkins, and I'm calling from Detroit.
Well, thank you, Ms. Watkins. Is there something you'd like to share with us?
Well, I was looking at the Talk D Jones show, and I wanted to get the number to the lady that was there on his show just a few minutes ago.
Okay, what I would suggest is call maybe around 11 o'clock at 868-6612, which is the receptionist number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they'll be able to give you the information concerning all programs, but, in particular the one that you're interested in.
Okay, give me that number again.
Okay, area code 313.
Correct.
868-6612.
6612. Okay. 868-6612.
Yes.
Okay, I'll call.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, as I said, we have our shout-outs in the morning, so I want to shout out to a couple of viewers who told me they were, I guess what you call, surfing the channels, and so shout out to Lee, shout out to Vanessa. I also want to say shout out to Shane, Sister Jackie, and again, have your pen and paper handy for things that you may want to record or write down, because I don't trust my memory beyond, we're flooded with information, so sometimes you just have to be in a position to be able to write something down. You can refer to it later. Now I want to introduce our guest, Mr. Percy Johnson, and I would like to ask you, brother, who is Percy Johnson?
Oh, a very concerned person with the belief that if we come together, that we can help make a change and lift each other up, right? Actually, I'm a deacon in training right now under Reverend Steve Bland at Liberty Temple Baptist Church, and he's always, I would say 90% of his sermons are based on getting out in the community to help make the change and lift the community up. So he is a key driver of mine of when I wake up, I seriously ask the Lord to send somebody that I can help. And in fact, the word that I use for a lot of people to text me is the word help. So I'm going to get that out right now, okay, as I get talking. So please have anyone after I get through talking that needs more of this information that I'm going to hand out to just text me the word help and their first and last name. And then I'll take time and get back with you and talk to you and find out how I can assist you into the various opportunities that are in our Detroit area. I'm a definitely what beats my heart also is getting people out to vote and then registering people and encouraging them to use their voting power and realizing how they can be they can be effective with voting, and also I'm one now. So my new push now is not just to vote for these elected candidates, but to make a list. You should have about a list of 3 to 5 different things that you expect from these elected officials. So when these elected officials, especially now that election's going on, while they're coming to you for your vote, and kind of listen to them about what they say they're gonna do, but when they get through, you should be coming to them with a list of the concerns that you have for your community. You know,
I'm in agreement with that. I know when I was younger, I got involved. Well, actually, we had a block club. I was a teenager, though, so all we did was we just provided the music as a band, a little teenage band. But one of the things that got me involved was the fact that I guess they felt like I was wise enough, even as a teenager, articulate enough to put together a plan in order to like have the curbs in our neighborhood fixed, because you know it was rotting away and that type of thing. So I guess they just kind of brought me in at a young age as a teenager, and from that point on, I always had a community interest. Now I would say first my initial interest was black or cultural interest, neighborhood interest, the community, and then it expanded and became broader as what you're saying, like you're out there in the community doing things. And this is something I like to encourage everybody else as well, because we have neighbors, but we really, we don't interact like we used to, not when I grew up anyway. So when you mentioned voting and community, now I started voting when I was 18, and for some reason, I just locked into it, but I guess we all got our path that we follow. So now, as you're out there trying to get people to vote, and we're going to really get into this because I see too much apathy, or as you say, the people not really aware, who their representatives are, the kind of concerns that they have for their neighborhood. So just an overview of what's the reaction, I would ask, I guess, do you get from people who, let's just say those who don't know anything about it, don't even know it's a midterm, by the way, which is bad because there's enough political ads out there that we should be aware of that. But I guess TikTok and all these other things got people all wrapped up, Facebook, Instagram, so they're not getting it. So what's your initial response from the community when you're out there trying to, elicit some type of response and get them involved?
So actually, I'm working the door-to-door campaign I have going on right now are with 2 different groups. The one church, the one group that I'm involved with, A. Philip Randolph and Michigan Voice are our sponsors, and we're working with teenagers. We actually have teenagers that are 15, 16 to 19. Before the primary, we gave them a chance to come in and phone bank. We now since the primary has been over, we have been going out in the neighborhood 1 square mile from the area of our church. Our churches are Greenfield and 6 Mile, 178 88 Greenfield Liberty Temple Baptist Church, and we target the square mile area around our church to go out and reach in the community, to have people to be aware. We have a flyer that we're passing out that's giving them the information on the upcoming election and to put a plan in place of how you're going to vote, if you're going to vote by mail, and letting them know where the voting boxes are. In fact, we have a voting box in front of our church, but we also are asking them to sign up and take advantage of the Detroit Block Clubs, because we're focusing on that area, registering each block under the Detroit Block Club, and then when I'm talking to the citizens on our mission of what we're focusing on, registering them in the Detroit Block Clubs, because our first target is going to be the area between 7 Mile and Finkel, Southfield, and John C. Large. That whole community registering in the Detroit Block Clubs. We're going to target the businesses that are around there and insist that they take care of their properties, that they start cutting their grass and picking up the trash. You know, because I feel, you know, if we start getting some of these little wins,
Right.
you know, in the community, and we start seeing the strength that when we come together, that of the energy that we can make happen, then we'll start, you know, that'll be our first task. Then our next task will be, like I said, going to our city officials, you know, and having a list of demands of the things that they could do for our community, and bring the resources to our community. And then also, I found there's so much information, like Detroit at Work. They have a program for employment where they actually are paying citizens to come to school to get retrained.
Okay, wow.
You know, if you don't have your GED, and we're talking more than $15 an hour.
Wow.
You know, so that is a program that's out there.
Now, what's the name of that again? I hate to interrupt you. You say Detroit. There's the organization or whatever it is that helps them get their GED.
Detroit at Work.
Detroit at Work.
Yes,
Okay, thanks.
Detroit at Work. Detroit at Work. If you Google Detroit at Work, go to that site. There's a list, and then, like I said, text me the word help.
Right.
And I'll text you the link. I'll text you the link.
And
now,
let's just say throughout the show,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have you do it, but give them your number now, and then we'll repeat it throughout the show.
Okay, so my phone number is 313-719-9921. 313-719-9921. And if you have a teenager that's between 15 and 16 and can get to that area of our church. So we're meeting this Saturday. We're going out this Saturday for 6 hours from 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And then we're going out again the 1st of October for another 6 hours. Okay. We've gotten funds from A. Philip Randolph, Detroit Metro, A. Philip Randolph under Jerry King, and then also Michigan Voice. That's another thing. There are organizations out here like Michigan Voice, Moses, Don. They actually have tax fund dollars for individuals who are trying to focus on building up their communities, where they will give you the assistance of having block club meetings. They'll help you with the material you will need. They'll help you, give you funds to have food so you can have it at the meeting. They are the ones that are providing the dollars that we need to pay these students that we're using to go out in the street. So we have my target point was to have at least 16 students so we could go out in teams of 4 with one adult and go door to door to drop this literature off and touch 24 houses within an hour.
Okay.
So with that team, we figured we could, on one day, if we go out in 4 hours, with that volume of teens, that we would touch 1,600 doors in 4 hours. So that was the goal. And now there's another organization program that I'm involved with. In fact, that's why I'm dressed the way I am now. Usually I have on a suit or something, and I thought Miss Theo was going to be here, and usually I would put a suit and tie on, but I'm wearing I got my canvassing clothes on right now because there's an organization called BPAC. It's Black Progressive Action Coalition. Okay. They are located on, let me give you this address, because they're paying $18 an hour for individuals to go out in the community to, once again, get people registered to vote, and also they are polling in the black community. Now, how many times do we always hear we don't get polled?
Way too often.
Way too.
Yeah, and they've never polled me, and I've been on this planet 6 decades, so something's wrong.
Right, and we have they have 5 distinct questions that they're asking the citizens of their concerns of how they feel about education, how do they feel about the voting. No, they have a couple of 5 questions that they're asking, and they're asking you to label them, 1 through 5. What would be your first concern down to your last? And the concerns are education, voting rights, crime, inflation, and jobs. That's the last one. That's the last one. Jobs. So it gives the person a chance to put that in the category. Right. And to my surprise, a lot of the people are concerned about crime. That seems to be the number one issue.
Well, one of the things that I take note of is that I guess journalism and media in general, they always say if it bleeds, it leads. So we are overwhelmed and bombarded with a shooting here, a house burglary there, because these are fake things that affect us specifically, as opposed to somebody else, and we're just witnessing it. We know someone on the block that has had a break-in, and there seems to be a lack of neighborhoods. But now, one of the things you were saying earlier, brother, that I thought about was when I grew up. Okay, number one, we always hear the old thing, even from let's say our elders. Well, we could leave our doors open, and we knew our neighbors, and a lot of that came from the I guess what we brought from the South during the migration. Because as I've been in the South a number of times, the houses generally aren't next to each other. So when you're traveling along, as particularly if you're walking or something like that, you're going to see your neighbors out on the porch or out in the yard or something like that. You speak. Now we just get in our cars in the driveway or whatever and just pull off. So you don't really have that same interaction unless you happen to be cutting the grass or something along that line. So we've lost that connectivity, which has been detrimental to us. And then because, as you say, with the crime thing, there's that fear that, well, I don't want to really get involved because of retaliation. We got this bad thing in the neighborhood about, particularly the youth, about the idea of snitching, and you telling on somebody and they don't even understand the definition of it. So what I was going to ask is, when you're in the community, the other point I wanted to make was about the neighborhoods used to be a little bit more cohesive back in the day. You had, you're working for the big three, you're working for the post office or something.
The opportunity jobs were there.
Right.
Which is kind of the core problem. I'm going to mention this. Coleman Young, and when he came out, the second, the one that just ran,
right,
one of his comments was, a lot of our problems that we're having in Detroit, a good job to take care of.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish he would have ran on that as his number one campaign speaking point.
Yeah.
But so even though they say crime, but the next thing that they put in category is education.
Right.
Because a lot of citizens they're getting the fact that if they have a strong educated school in their area, that are giving our students a chance to be exposed to a way of life that they can almost have a career and be anything that they want to be legitimately.
Right.
They'll take that over that. So that I'm hearing a lot that they would love to have a strong school in their neighborhood, especially where our younger age students can walk out of their house and go into school that's giving them the resources that's going to help expand their mind and elevate their social life.
Okay. Now we got a caller who we want to bring into the conversation.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you? You? And how are you viewing us in your name, please?
Silverado.
Good to hear your voice, sister. This is our poet in residence, and she's a brilliant sister.
Okay,
sister.
I'm watching, and I want to write down, did he have any phone numbers for the assistance funding programs? And the one that he's talking about presently, I think he's talking about BPAC, the Black Progressive. Is it
yes,
aggressive?
Black Progressive Action Coalition.
Oh, Action Coalition.
Yes, that would be BPAC.
Okay.
That would
Okay,
be
I'm gonna write
BPAC.
it down. I'll hang
Okay.
up and I'll write it down.
Okay, and be sure to text me the word help to the number I gave you. But also, I'm gonna give the number out, that the number to get interviewed, and to let them, and they'll let you know what time to come in. And the number is 313-774-7830, and ask for Mr. Carey, and he will tell you what time to come, and so they do a background check. You know, they get your information. They do a background check, because I mean, you're going in the community,
Right.
talking to different people, so they want to make sure that your background is presentable. And then also they're located now. They're located on the West 7 Mile, by just on Otter Drive. It's Littlefield and 7 Mile, and the address is, oh my goodness, where is it at? Oh, here it is. Okay, 13305 West 7 Mile, and the zip code is 48235. If you go, you can also walk up there. You can come to that location between the hours of 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock, because those are the times that they're having people to come in to get their information, where they'll be going out canvassing. So they'll be there from 11 to 5, and those are the hours that you go out. So you go out 6 hours. Actually, they're going out 6 hours a day now. It's 6 hours a day, 18 hours an hour. That comes to $108 a day. So if you're working 5 to 6 to 7 days, you're talking $500 to $600 to $700.
Let that be a motivator, if nothing else.
Right.
But
right.
the primary thing is trying to help the community, because we live in the community and we can't turn our back on it or close our eyes to it. I want you to give that address again, because the person didn't catch it the first time.
Okay. 13305 West 7 Mile, 48235. And that's between Otter Drive and Schaefer. Yeah, between Otter Drive and Schaefer. Is actually on 7 Mile and Littlefield. So that give you the general location. Show up there, and you can work as many days as you want to. You work from 1 to 7 days. You make the call. How many days you want to work.
Sly Soul, did you have anything else you want to ask the brother?
I think she said she was going to hang up. She was.
Okay, I see it on the thing. Okay, but if you do, you can always call back. Now, one of the things I was going to say, brother, too, when I was mentioning cohesiveness, is that back in the day, because I was mentioning we work for the Big Three, we work for the post office, or some solid, sustainable job where we're making a living wage and not a minimum wage.
Right.
But one of the things that's sort of come into play now is that we have, it seems to be, from my understanding, more renters than homeowners. And with the renters, some of them don't take, as I see it, they don't take on the understanding of the responsibility of even maintaining the property that you live in, because then that gives a sense of community as well. And that's something that, Theo and I have talked about on a number of occasions, where we have to try to involve them as well. Now, I like the idea also, brother, that you have teenagers, they're getting or approaching that voting age, so they become a little bit more active. Like, I've taken my granddaughter with me and my mom when we vote, because I just want her to understand, get a feeling for the process, being in the building and that type of thing. Because as I say, I've been doing it since I was 18. As soon as I was able to vote, I started voting and haven't stopped since then. And I know that even within my circle, referring to my family and then the circle of friends and acquaintances I have, it's hard to get them motivated, particularly in a midterm. So now I want to clarify one thing. The BPAC information, that was the phone number. Your number was 774-7830, or is that the BPAC?
That's the BPAC.
BPAC, okay. I just want everybody else to be clear on that.
That's the contact number for BPAC, that's the contact number for BPAC.
And go ahead, brother.
So now there's another thing that I'm really involved in, and that's giving out information on how to get into construction trade, builders trades. You know, I sat in with Council President Brenda Jones. Before she retired, she had skilled trade task force meetings.
Okay.
And at those skilled trade task force meetings, they had a lot of the trade recruiters that would attend, and that's where we would network, and that's where they talked about the challenges that citizens were having to getting into trades.
Right.
One of them was their driver's license, not being, because in order to be in trade, the building trades, you need to have a valid driver's license.
Right.
You know, because you're going from one project to the other. You know, you're not in a central location.
Right.
So, and then also the training for the school, you had to drive. So you had to have a valid driver's license.
Right.
The driver's responsibility fees that we got reversed came from going to that task force meeting. Because we started talking about how a lot of our citizens are hindered because of the fines that they have from not paying their tickets. And if you don't pay that ticket, it just doesn't stop at that cost. The fines grow on you to where we had citizens that were having fines $2,000-3,000. You know, so we talking about that, and then they said, you know, this is really putting a burden on our citizens.
Right.
And that's when they went to Lancet and came up with the policy to reverse that policy to now to where you automatically get your fines removed and give you a chance to get your driver's license.
Now, my son got caught up in that driver responsibility thing, but we're at the bottom of the hour. We're getting ready to take our bottom of the hour break, and then I want to get back with you on that because I'm a retired construction trade electrician.
Okay.
And so, yeah, there's some input I can put in there. And caller, we want to ask you just to stay put. We're going to the bottom of the hour break, you know, per FCC, and then we will return. And we'll continue our dialogue. So stay tuned, get that pen and paper handy, and we'll be back momentarily.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
Everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru Wally Wallman.
Wally Wallman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
It's time to do something more. Join the Detroit Police Department, either straight out of high school or make a bold career change. Officers start at $40,000, plus health insurance, paid vacation, retirement plans, and more. Apply online.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.
I co-host with Theo Broughton, who is not here today, but she will be calling in. And we have our guest today, Brother Percy Johnson, who is brother wearing a whole lot of hats, I got to say that, and he's involved in a lot of things. And I think that, I hope rather, that this encourages many of you who may not have an activity, that these are things that you can actually become involved in yourself. The one thing we need more than anything is the understanding of unity and community. This is something that we had, and most indigenous people have had throughout the world, because they were in villages or in communities where everyone worked together. There's an old African proverb that says, many hands makes the work light. We haven't had that like we should. We've sort of gotten away from it, but it's not all our fault either, because we have forces that are working against us. And those who are, as they say, woke, understand this, but we have to bring everyone else out of it. We've had this expression called the sleeping giant. Well, we truly are a giant, but we've got to keep nudging people to become a little bit more involved. Now, just before the break, Brother Percy and I were talking about the construction trade. So I want you to go into that, brother, and then I can give you my background and how I got involved in it. And because, as you said, if a person, I guess to what Coleman Young Jr. said, if a person if you give them a job, then that eliminates any need to look for any other way to have income. You can have a legitimate income. And I have to say, from my own experience, you can make a lot of money. You can make over 6 figures in the construction trade. But I'm going to let you go first, brother, and then I'll, kind of chime in.
Absolutely. So I'm a retired pipe fitter from GM, and I got my state license as a plumber. The field of being a tradesman, and especially some of these particular trades that are service positions that repair homes, is just the income is you talking about $100,000 club,
right? You can't go wrong.
You're talking, with the trades, the bricklayers, so back to tagging with Council President Brenda Jones Skills Trade Task Force meeting. All your building trades attend this meeting. So, and once again, use my number for 313-719-9921 for if you need the information of how to get into the various trades. The Carpenter School. Have you seen the Carpenter School yet?
Yeah, they built it over there right off of Jeffries.
Yeah, on American Street.
Right.
Have you been in there?
No, not yet.
Oh man, it's a must go. So they have a Carpenter School in the city, a Carpenter and a Millwright Center,
right?
And it is state of the art. I mean, seriously, they have, the school is set up so they can train carpenters and they can train millwrights,
right?
And the equipment and the tooling that they have in there is so. I mean, I was just so overwhelmed when I saw that, man. For the past 2 summers, they have been taking teenagers from 14. When you start high school, you started high school at what age?
Right around 13.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I got it right. Yeah, so they seem like the 10th graders and the 11th graders and the 12th graders are the ones that they give them 8 weeks of work during the summer. This past summer, they had them in the area around the school rebuilding the porches for different homes that are close in that live in that area.
Right.
Rebuilding the porches and the steps with journeyman carpenters, showing them the code way to install your steps in your chairs. So at that age, you got that student getting exposed to building a porch and steps at that young age, and then also they get a chance to see some of the paychecks
right
some of these carpenters are getting, and they get to understand on how when you're working on these residential homes, the type of they were showing them, the business part of it too, how much you charge a customer for doing a repair, or even, and then they also were saying how you can help some of these individuals who don't have the financing. You just do the volunteer work to help with rebuilding some of those projects. So that so that's in our city,
right?
And we have to talk that up to give these. So you're saying you're an electrician, and that's where you were 58,
right? So now I'm gonna give a quick overview of my because I went to TULC, which some people may know of as Trade Union Leadership Council. Now this is back in the late 70s, early 80s, because I got into electrical trade in 81.
Okay.
But now this is how it worked out. Like you say, they bring a lot of people in from the various trades. So when we were in it, they were teaching us about how to look at diagrams, spatial relations, the math and everything. And then they would inform us when there were different apprenticeship tests. So we would go out to the various things. So now this is my little brief journey. I had applied for, the first job I applied for apprenticeship was millwright.
Okay.
I was number 24. They only chose 23 that year. So I didn't get in millwright. But the guy who was teaching TLC, one of the things he said, which I really thought was amusing, he said, yeah, you're going to get dirty, but you make enough money to buy plenty of soap, So that, that right there kind of stuck in my head. The second one I tried for was sheet metal worker for GM. As you said, you were employed. Now, GM, I was 27 at the time. I took the test, let's say, in December. In January, I turned 28. So you got that little void between Christmas and New Year. So I passed the test, but because my birthday came early January, I was too old by a week or two, so I didn't get that. So the last one I applied to was, which I'm glad I got it of all, because you can make money on the side as well. I mean, as a millwright, you basically conveyors and stuff.
Right.
With the 10 knocker. You can work for heating and cooling, but you may be a little limited in that. So when IBEW chose me, then that was the perfect thing. But had everything worked out, I would have been a millwright first. So and as this brother Percy Johnson is saying, the money you make, not only that. Now I had to go through a 4-year apprenticeship because you're going through apprenticeship, but you get paid from day one. On your apprenticeship, we went to school once every 2 weeks
with insurance and a pension.
Yes,
these are union jobs. Too.
And there's a shortage now. Many of you may know there's a shortage. They're trying to get me to come out of retirement, but it's not going to happen.
Right.
But there's a lot of construction going on in Detroit. As we know, Gilbert's got his little his castle in the sky he's working on. But there's so many other projects. And somebody told me, I didn't hear President Biden's interview, but in particular for my trade, he said, I guess in one of his speeches while he was here doing the auto show, he was mentioning IBEW putting up charging stations all around. So that's part of what I'm a part of. I get a nice pension. It's just an excellent thing. So now, I want to just say one other thing, brother. You know how they've taken a lot of the skill things out of schools and they got them in these centers like Go Lightly, on the Bright Hop, and there's a few others they're not coming to mind now, where when I went to school, everything was in-house. Metal shop, printing, you name it. We had all the vocations there, and I know Wilbur Wright, I didn't go there, but I know they were set up right down the street from Murray Wright with the same thing, giving a person a trade. And with that trade, not only, and as you know, you work for a contractor if you choose, but you can also become a contractor because you've had the skills, your license, and that kind of thing. But I want to let you go on, brother. I just want to give my little brief background because the trades are what's happening. You don't need a college degree to make good money.
So on that note, if you have a young individual that's going to high school right now,
right,
and they have Philip Randolph is the Detroit vocational school for our high school students. Right. It doesn't matter what high school you're going to. If you get with that counselor and tell them that you would like your child to participate in their trade school, they'll provide a way that they have them doing their school hours in the first part of their hours, and then the second half of their time, they'll bus them to the Philip Randolph School and bring them back to their school at the end of the day. So if that's an opportunity for our Detroiters that's not talked about enough.
Right.
That's available for our high school students. They are, and I also wanted to mention. So you mentioned tests, which I had to test to get into my particular trade. But some of these trades you don't need to test. Okay. If you just graduate from high school, you got to pass the drug test because they are testing you for drugs. And you just show up and be responsible. You have an opportunity to get into the bricklayer trade, the carpenters. They kind of have that opportunity too, to where you don't have to test to get in. You got your bricklayers, you have your painters, you have your drywall. Those particular trades are a student just basically just have to show up. The bricklayers, they have, in fact, they did a lot of work. They're still doing a lot of work on the train station.
Okay.
On the train station, right. And not only that, we got to mention this too, that these jobs are open up for returning citizens. So if you have any kind of, if you got a felon on your record, or if you got a background or something that you did in the past, and now that you're out and you're looking to be a productive citizen and get a good job, the building trades will hire you. They give you that opportunity for employment.
And I want to add that many of them will accept GEDs as well, so you don't have to get out of high school with a diploma. You can have a GED. It just proves. And another thing about that too is it shows that you pursue something and you stuck with it, because a lot of times that's one of the things I noticed in my coming up, that when an employer looks at your transcript, resume, or whatever it is, they want to know, did you quit here? Because I've got a family member who's had maybe 4 jobs in 1 year. Mm-hmm. Well, then that gives an employer a negative image of you, because they don't know how long you're going to hang around before you want to bail on them. And again, the money is excellent. I was able to work in the trade, and people knowing that what I did was, hey, look, even I've worked in office buildings, hospitals. I worked at what they call Zug Island, which is pretty much mining or processing a lot of iron ore and other things. So my varied experience gave me a lot. Now we got a caller here, so let's see what we got going on.
You just made me think of something else too. Focus Hope is also they have a tree trimming pathway where you can be a tree, you get your journeymanship in tree trimming. In fact, it only takes 2 to 2.5 years to get your journeyman card in tree trimmers, and they're working in front of the linemen, and they also have a pathway of getting it in for your linemen, apprenticeship program. So.
And laborers, I failed to mention, but which is they do teach you certain things. I know they had an office over on the boulevard near Woodward.
Still do.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
Do.
Now
1191.
Okay,
that's their local.
Yeah, since I got out of the trade, I'm kind of a little more distance from it because of other things I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But I mention that because with the laborers, basically, let's say as a pipe fitter, you got scrap material. As an electrician, you got scrap conduit, 2x4s or whatever you're using for metal studs. So you have people on site who clean that up. they make excellent money. I know they're making over 20 an hour, but I haven't kept up with the scale of all the trades. Now, again, I'm out of it and trying to pursue some other things. But there's so many things in the construction trade, and it's something, I guess that old proverb, if you give a man a fish, he can eat for a day. If you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. Same thing, if you get a skilled trade, you got something that'll carry you for your whole life. And again, you can work for contractors as well as be independent on your own, start your own business. You go on and, you upgrade your license. I never went to master's license so I could be a contractor. I was content with just going through the various contractors because of the various experience I had. And as you say, you get the opportunity to, you have to have your driver's license, number one, because they let me know from get-go, and they let everybody else know you got to be able to go to these job sites, because once the job is over, you go back down to your union hall, you see what jobs are on the book, or you can just take some time off, and then you pick up another job. So it's very important, and I've been trying to instill this in a lot of people. I post things. I still get the building tradesmen, so they'll always say when they have apprenticeships open. So I try to, instill this in people. I say, you don't need it. Somebody does need it. So make sure you pass this information along, because this is how we build stability in our neighborhoods too. And I'm gonna make it a point to go over there because I got a friend who lives on American. So I'm gonna make it a point if find out what the whole visiting schedule is.
Yeah, it's open to the public.
Okay.
You basically just walk in there and say you would love to have a tour, and they be John Perkins is the contact person to ask for. Ask for John Perkins. And I have all this information. Once again, if you text me, I'll text you those contact numbers and those links right away. Now
there was a number you were looking up.
Oh yes, for Moses. It was a young lady that was asking about Moses. This would be the organization that would help your block club or help your community active program that you're putting in place to reach out to build up your community. And the number is 313-549-0422. 313-549-0422. And a young lady by the last name of Poncella will answer, and she'd be more than delighted to help assist you and to help you in your neighborhood or your block club, to give you the information to build up your community.
And this is why I tell everyone, have your pen and paper handy, because if you notice while the brother's talking, I ain't been doing nothing but writing, because, again, we may not need this information personally, but there's somebody in our circle who does, whether it's on your job, at your church, in your neighborhood. There's somebody who you can pass this information along to. And we've got to stop filling these jails because, these little petty crimes, smash and grab and these kind of things, the path that you're on is definitely a dead end. And as we've heard said in many rap songs and outsiders observing this, that you're going to end up dead or in jail. Right. Those are not the options you want. We don't think about family like we should anymore.
And I'm just a believer that the average man or woman, if you give them a pathway of having a legitimate, good-paying job, they'll take that. Right. They'll take that over doing something that's not legit, that has a chance of giving them some type of trouble. If you give them that choice, they'll take that other choice. And right now, the city of Detroit, I really look at Detroit as a gold mine of opportunities, because Detroit is going to get redeveloped, right? All these abandoned homes we see, vacant lots, they're going to get redeveloped, and now there's an opportunity now to get trained to be the particular trade that's going to do that redevelopment and get those licenses, so you could be the one that that have to get the permits to do the jobs, right. and to perform the work by getting into these apprenticeship programs and learning the codes and being able to pass inspections, that they'll be coming to you so they can get the work done.
Now, some of you may have, if you watch any of the local major stations, ABC, NBC, or I guess it's CBS, they just recently mentioned last week, as a matter of fact, that they're going to be building something in the area of, I want to say, Little Caesars Arena, where they're going to have hotels, they're going to have apartments, they're going to have, I guess, retail shops and those type of things. And many times, although it hasn't worked out in our favor the way it should, they always attempt to get Detroit residents first. Then, if they're unable to fulfill that, then they go outside the community. Now, this is what is said. I don't know if it's done, because some companies would rather pay a fine than have to actually hire a Detroit person. But if you have that skill level, then you are in a prime position to be able to get those positions.
So once again, this is why we have to be civically engaged, right? This is why we have to be knowledgeable of what we should be asking, that our elected officials demand, that when these contractors come in our city to perform this type of work, that there is some language, there is some requirement that they must give Detroiters an opportunity. I call it 51 plus 1. At least it should be 51 plus 1 of Detroiters being to have the opportunity to be on that job work site.
Right.
So a lot of us will jump up and say, well, I look every time I see more of the other people than anybody else. Okay, so get down there and insist that they put a policy in place, that they give your Detroiters the pathway of getting into these trades. And that's what Detroit at Work is about. Focus Hope, those are the places where you can go and call. Wait a minute, not only that, call your city councilman. Detroit got what? We got 7 city councilmen now for the districts of Detroit. Call that city council that's in your district and find out where this information is, so you can get your family in these opportunities. And this is what we have to insist on.
Now, we're going to bring this caller in. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Sligo, Silverado. I got you on the website, WHPR TV 33.
Okay, so
now, I agree that we have to get more involved in civic education. We also need to be mobilized in a movement to remove these politicians that are constantly giving contracts out, not putting teeth in any kind of community agreement to service the needs of the residents and the taxpayers. We are constantly paying for contractors that don't live here, that disrespect the citizens, and when they do hire the workers in the city, they are racist towards the city residents. So we definitely have to get more organized and strategize on how we can get teeth put into the contractors, the way they give contracts out. We're hearing about our school contracts going out in the city. $12 million more contracts, but it's being given to outsiders and not to the Detroiters.
One of the things the brother was saying, and I think it's like the community engagement, the people have to know who are their representatives within these 7 districts that we have, and the at-large council people as well. And then we have to sweat them, because if we don't put any pressure on them, I guess it's like when they say you're making a diamond. If you don't put any pressure on it, you don't get a diamond. You just got a piece of coal or whatever it may be prior to that. So it's necessary, I think, for us to become engaged and put that pressure, because once you start sweating them and you put them on Front Street more or less, then they don't have any options. There's nowhere to run and hide at that point. They either have to do it or be replaced. And I agree that we need to, those who are just in there to fill their pockets or get a pension, because I think after 2 terms on the city council, you got money for life, So some of them are looking at it just.
I think another thing is important is that we start taking notes on these politicians that continue to tell us one thing and their action shows us another. So when time come up for them to try to get reelected, we can point out to the voters
Absolutely.
that they talk out the side of their mouth, and their actions have proven that they're not going to do what they say they're going to do.
Go ahead, brother.
And I want to give you another fear that would actually get your elected officials to turn around, would be your citizen participating and going to go vote. You know, when you have a community that's voting, so we need to flip this thing right now, because I'm looking at the stacks, and a lot of the stacks are showing we're only getting 20% of our Detroiters to participate in these elections. You know, so that's letting an elected official feel like, well, hey, I can do what I want to do. They're not going to vote me out.
Right.
You know, but when you flip that to making it 80%, you know, and then we try to say, well, you need money. No, if you vote and you have a strong voting block, you know, then people will listen to you. I'm involved with the UAW. In fact, I'm a CAP chairman and of our one of our locals, Local 22, and that's a community action program. But we screen candidates. You know, we have like 18, 19 issues that we're concerned about. These elected officials come to us to get screened because they know we got a voting block with our members that are listening to us on who we endorse. And the only reason why we endorse them, because we check their record out, and if they give us a 80%, a 90% vote on our issues, then we let our members know this is the one you should vote for. So the same thing. So since I've been retired, this is why I'm focusing on in my neighborhoods, our neighborhoods now. So we can do the same thing this is why we want to build up the square mile area around our church to be a strong neighborhood block community to where we got that area voting 80% or better. Guess what? These elected officials going to be coming to us finding out, you know, what are we asking for to get their vote? And when we got a number vote like that, they're going to pay attention to you.
Now, I want to ask everyone to hold their thoughts because we're at the top of the hour. FCC want us to identify who we are and what we're about. So we're going to do that. I want to ask the caller that's also holding right now just to hold on until after the break, and we'll bring you into the conversation. So everybody just stay put, get your pen and paper handy. This brother's handing out a lot of information. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after the break.
It's time to do something more. Join the Detroit Police Department, either straight out of high school or make a bold career change. Officers start at $40,000, plus health insurance, paid vacation, retirement plans, and more. Apply online at joindetroitblue.org.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat. Few seconds. You gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn. Ta-da!
It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Wally Wallman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Brazen. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first, they'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the...
Chew!
That's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the Miss...
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BD and Pinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.
Welcome back. This is the Feedback. My name is Thabiti, and my guest today is Brother Percy Johnson, who's out there. He's wearing out a lot of shoe leather, but he's handling his business. So first thing we want to do is bring this caller in. Caller, can you give us your name and how you're viewing us, please?
My name is Yvonne.
Thank you for calling, Yvonne.
I watch Raw online. On
Thank you so
it
much.
is a lot of information. But this is what I want to say. I just heard to address some of it about how the council don't get on these people that they give these contracts to. And, you know, once they get them, they seem to do what they want to do as for hiring. You know, they don't do what they had promised. And the same with our city council. And, you know, you can go back to them issues that you have from these companies, and it's just almost like they ignored. And you know yourself, you go down there to certain meetings, they only give the citizens a few minutes to say what they have to say. So it's really sad because there are people that want to work, you know, and like some of these security guards, they'll bring people in there and they want you to do things that you are not supposed to do. That was in the when they hired you, that this is understood, that you don't approach people, you know, you let your supervisor know it, and they take it from there. And then they want to fire the work if the worker don't, go, do what they just do, whatever they put in front of their face. So there's this information you get on, and it's very helpful, and I am taking notes. And one thing I want to ask, too, is you have to live in Detroit to be able to sign up for the apprentice in Detroit?
I would say no, just for my particular trade, which was electrician, because the people that I work with, they were from, as long as I believe you live in the county, and the counties that we serve were Livingston, Oakland, Wayne, and Macomb, and then there's another branch of the IBEW that covers other counties, which I believe there's 80 some odd counties and states. So you don't have to be a citizen of a particular city in order to be able to get into the skilled trades. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think they've changed anything.
Okay, my grandson just graduated from high school, and he do want to go over to Tarp, but he lives out in Warren.
Please,
so I don't know what they have out there.
Please
you know,
have.
But
please
have
Mr. him to text me.
About it sounds good,
ma'am. Please have him to text me the word help in his first and his last name, right? And I'll guide him with the contacts, numbers of where he needs to go and to get into these particular trades. All right?
Okay, now, Mr. Percy, I have your phone number.
Yes.
But I didn't take it. Okay, he can text you from that phone number?
Yes, please. Just please tell him to text me the word help. When I see that text help, I know you're reaching out because you're looking to get some knowledge of what to improve yourself or get involved with the community. And then I'll take time and talk to that individual to see the pathway of what they want to pursue and what their need is. And then also I'll suggest to you, and then any other listeners, build up your neighborhood Detroit block clubs. Build up your block clubs, y'all. Start building up your block clubs and connecting the blocks next to your block. And then use this organization like Moses to be able to help you in your block club to address these issues that we have. I mean, you get 4 or 5 different blocks, and just like we're speaking on the pathway of getting in the trades and making sure that they hire Detroiters, you get with an organization such as Moses. Moses will help guide you to give you the platform of how to address these elected officials to make sure that they will put some teeth in these, to hold these contractors accountable to start using the charters like they should on these jobs. And then here's the other thing that we fail to realize. It's stuff that a community can have a proposal to be put on the ballot and vote on. Right. But once again, just like we heard how proposal P lost. It lost because we didn't get a volume of voters to turn out and vote. And if you didn't get it the first time, go back and get it the second time. You don't lose this and just give up. You go back out, and especially if it's a need that's gonna help make something better. Right. I'm all for making something better. And it's all the time that when you're trying to pursue to make something better, you might not get it the first time, but you go back at it again until you do get it. Don't give up. I mean, as long as you're on the top side.
Now, sister, did you have
All right,
any?
thank you.
Thank you for calling. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, caller, you're on the air. Would you give us your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Oh, yeah, this is Sylvia calling back. Again, great information, and I'm trying to look up Moses' organization right now. But I think the other key is, like you said, if we build a block clubs, we also need to have townhouse meetings where we need to educate the population on how media is so manipulative, because of media, that's how Proposal P failed. Exactly. Because they convinced the people to vote against their interests, because people believe in television. Media has never been our friend. It's mass evil devils in action. They work for the very corporate greed that is continuing to colonize our community.
Sister, I wanted to ask, did you get the number to Moses the brother gave out?
No, can I get that number? I got my pen.
Okay, area code 313 549 0422. And the lady's name, I believe, is Miss Poncella?
Yes, ask for Poncella.
Poncella?
Yes, ma'am. Ask for Poncella.
Is that P-A-L, Poncella?
Oh, man. Please.
I just did it phonetically, Poncella. I just did it so I could pronounce it.
Yeah, I do it. I'll just sound it out, Poncella. Okay, I got 549-0422. Thank you for taking my call.
And then always use my number.
Great information.
And always use my number for backup. If you reach out
at 719-9921.
Yes.
Test me that. Mr. Percy.
Test me that word help.
I love the show today.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Right.
Bye. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? Hello, caller. You're on the air. Once again, you're on the air. Don't listen to your television or whatever. Listen to your phone. Okay, I'll just have you call back because there's so much information you're giving, brother. We don't want to have any voids in what we're trying to do. Again, my guest is Percy Johnson. This brother is a wealth of information. I've got to give his number out again to myself because, as he said, if you text help and then put your name, first and last name, then he knows that you're specific in whatever your needs are. So his number again is area code 313-719-9921. And again, just text help and your name, and then he will deal with you immediately because this brother has so many different resources, contacts, organizations, and information that it will behoove all of us to take advantage.
Right.
Okay, let's try this again. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? Okay, caller, I'll give you opportunity to speak, but we have to keep the show moving. Okay.
I want to speak on one more thing, too.
Go ahead, brother.
So there's another organization that I'm tied with, and it's called FARM. It's Family for Renaissance Men. And this particular program works with young men that are not living with the mother of their child. You know, and they meet. They have all type of legal assistance, employment assistance for fathers who's not with their child that might need assistance with a lawyer or a judge to help them with some of their arrears that they might have with their child support. They have information on how to give that individual a pathway for employment. They even have a siphon pay that they pay these gentlemen. You know, there are 8-week segments that they meet 4 days a week. No, 3 days a week. I got it. Let me get it right. 4 days a week, because the first Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday are the first 2 days where they just sit down and we talk to young men how to be responsible and respectful, and to learn how to, the mother of their child, to work with that mother of their child, even if you're not living with them or staying with them, but how to work together with that mother for that child, to make that child have an opportunity of having some support from the father and the mother. But you know, and then they go over the statistics of showing how it makes a difference of a man being involved with a child, how it gives that child strength and builds up their self-esteem. You know, there are stats that actually show that when you have a productive father that's involved with a child's life, how that lifts a child up and gives them a chance to be successful in life.
I mean, we have to understand that's the whole balance, because the woman can do so much and the man can do so much. And even if they're not together for whatever reason, they have discord, the child is the final product that we're trying to mold, and we're trying to mold that child into becoming a responsible citizen. Not only that, but as you said, and I agree wholeheartedly, the whole self-esteem aspect is extremely important, because when you have that within yourself, then whatever it is you tackle in life, you will have that as a foundation to work from. Now, we got a lot of callers where I tell you this is a wonderful show. So here we go.
Right.
Hello, caller, you're on the air. Oh, I think I blew that. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Would you give us your name and how you're viewing us, please? I think I got to redo this again because... Okay. Hello, caller. You on the air? Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? Hello, caller. Oh, this is the one that doesn't speak to us. Okay. Hello, caller. You on the air? Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? Make sure I get everything. Hello, caller. You on the air?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
This is Sister Henry. And I'm calling regarding the fact that so many of our elected officials that we elect take money out of our school system and donate it to the sports arena, as well as other types of activities that does not benefit us nor our future generation in the long run. We cannot continue to vote for individuals that have more concern about sports arena than they do about the public education system. And in addition to that, we need to also make sure that our schools have the types of programs that benefits the children from K all the way to the 12th grade, such as we had when we were coming up. Many of the trade schools opportunities was right there in the middle school, especially middle school, high school, and such as that. Many of the apprenticeship programs began right there in our school system. We cannot afford to elect folks who take money from this public school system and give it to Ford Auditorium or Little Caesar and other stadiums such as that doesn't benefit the future of education of our children. Thank you much.
Thank you, sister. And brother, I want you to, because this is what we initially started out with, how you go door to door canvassing. So I want you to touch on that again. We probably got about another 10, 11 minutes in the show. So part of what you said in the beginning of our program about how you get out there, you have the list of 5 things that you want to know what their concern is. And to this sister's point and others is that if, number one, if you're not involved in politics, or understand the effect of politics, because you're going to abide by the laws that are made by politicians, whether you vote or don't vote. So if you just want to allow your life, cast your fate to the wind and see what happens when so-and-so gets elected, rather than letting so-and-so know, first you need to know who's your district council person. It's the first thing you need to know. And then you can speak to them directly, like one of the sisters said. They only give you a few minutes to talk, and they trying to really rush you out. As a revolving door. You know, you get up there to the podium. If they interrupt you, that still, affects the 5 minutes or whatever time slot they give you. Then you out. That's why it's important to go ahead and become directly contact them. So let them know about the canvassing that you're doing and how they may be able to participate in that.
So once again, the location is 13305 West 7 Mile. That's 7 Mile in Littlefield, or between Outer Drive and Schaefer on West 7 Mile, right? Go to that location and get into this BPAC. BPAC is a Black Progressive Action Coalition, where there are they're spending 6 hours. They go out 6 hours a day. You go out and we are doing a poll on our concerns that we have. The top concerns in our community seem to be, right now is our jobs, education, crime, the way the cost of living is going up, and our voting rights. So we're there, and so they are, paying individuals $18 an hour, $108 a day to go out and get engaged and participate with this. So take advantage of that opportunity. Also on the weekends, we're using teenagers to go in the Square Mile area, 6 Mile in Greenfield, to encourage, once again, the people who live in 7 Mile to Outer Drive, 7 Mile to Finkel, and from John C. Lars to Southfield, to sign up for the Detroit Block Clubs, and so we can build up that block community area, and also get ready for the upcoming elections, to be prepared to get out and vote. Because bottom line, y'all, we got it. Look, every issue that we're challenged with right now, as a community, as a block of people who would show up and be at these civic hearings, that we can change these issues and make the change. So, and then you use an organization like Moses to help you organize, to set your argument or your what you're going to discuss when you go to these civic hearings, of being able to address the concern that you have. I'm hearing a lot of callers saying how they only giving you an hour or so. So get a group of 20 to 30 of you, you know, at the same time to go down to get your issue out in that 1 minute. So that's 30 minutes right there that you can use and when you have a collective discussion that you're having, that you can get across. You know, we have strength in numbers. You know, when we show up in big numbers, we can change to make our neighborhoods and make our communities the way that we want them to be. But we got to come together and do it, you know. So that's how you make the change.
Now, there's another African proverb. I'm fond of proverbs because it's a brief statement, but it makes a valid and a profound point. It says, well, if you had one stick and you broke it, then that's easy to break. But it says sticks in a bundle are rarely broken. That's what that whole unity and community is about. Right. And start with the people in your family, right, your neighbors. Again, you have coworkers, you got church members, you maybe belong to various clubs or organizations. And as the brother said, and I think it's very valid, when you get a group of you all together and you go down there, then every time they hear a voice, they're going to hear a voice that's beating that same drum. Look, right, we're tired of our streets backing up. You know, we're tired of the power going out, whatever it is. And this is not only towards politicians, but this is towards businesses and whatever. Brother Malik Shabazz will get out with a group and he will picket a store, or he will find someone who's, he will solicit with flyers and everything to get people who have been assaulted and get the community together. This is where we build our foundation. Now, we know that there are outside forces that are there, and their purpose is to disrupt what we do. And I want to say this. One thing I do admire about Republicans, that they are steadfast in what they do. If they don't make it the first time on something, they will find another way to get a proposal or ordinance or whatever on the ballot, and they'll do it again and again because their mission is to win. Our mission is to win, or should be to win, because every day we come on our block, whether it's Sturtevant, whether it's Littlefield, Dexter, Davidson, whatever, that's where we reside. That's where we have issues, and that's where we need to have our issues resolved. So until we can pressure these people, because it only works under pressure. There's another little saying I got from the Black Yellow pages, but I liked it. And certain little things just kind of stick in my head because they make a lot of sense. And it was speaking about advertising, but it says more or less to the effect that a person who does not advertise, which is to make themselves known, which is what we're trying to do in the community, is like a man who winks at a woman in the dark. He know what he's doing, but she don't. So we have to make sure they know what we're doing, and the only way we can do that is to raise our voices and show our unity, because the midterm elections are coming in November, and whether you sit on the sideline or not, and don't let 15% of the people make a decision for the other 85% because y'all didn't want to get out and do nothing.
Right. So, you know, and that's something else. So you know, in that Build Back Better plan, you know, sometimes I kind of hate saying that, but it's a proposal in there, a policy in there that they want preschool for our youth to be able to go to school at 3-4 years old. Do you know how big of a lift that gives the community? One, it gives that young family that opportunity of having their child to be able to go to school at that age where they don't have to pay for that daycare. That daycare is $300, $400, $500 a week. And if you got 2 or 3 different kids, and most of us do, we have more than just one. You're talking about, you know, almost $10,000 a year that you can put something towards something else. We're talking about renting apartments. I mean, renting a house, this is giving you a chance to put money down on a house to buy that house. But, you know, so that would be a relief for financially on the young family. And then that child, you got that child going to school at 3-4 years old. So by the time they're 5, they already know their letters, they know their colors, they already, you know, you're getting a chance to lift their mind up. And you can't tell me these babies, if you give them some positive resources, they'll suck it up, man. We see it all the time.
They comprehend very well. We underestimate their ability to understand. And other nations take care of business like that. I look at, you know, matter of fact, and then I'm going to let you give the last contact information as we get down to the bottom. But, we got Theo here, so I got to bring her. I ain't got no more to say now. Here we go. Happy Monday, Theo. Okay, hit
So I have enjoyed the program this morning, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but we will have you on with us on some of the other programs that we do. I have a question. You know, when the movie Black Panther was out, the fraternities and sororities did a fantastic job of buying out movie theaters so that our young people would have an opportunity to see that film. And the fraternities and sororities just got busy, and they worked over the whole country. And, you know, they need to do it now. I have been issue everywhere I go and trying to contact every fraternity member and sorority member that I can get in touch with. It's such a wonderful job. I think they need to join all of us. And we are doing everything that we can do to get people out and exercise their rights and their responsibility. What do you think about that?
I missed it. Because
like I said, involving the sororities and fraternities in the efforts we're making now.
Sure. I mean, any group or any organization that's going to reach out and start personally talking to people and giving them encouragement will be helpful, no doubt in my eyes. That this is the stuff that we have to do. You know, instead of just talking about the problem, we have to put some action. Or what plan are we going to put in place where we're going to be about making the change to lift each other up.
Now, we're down to the last 2 minutes. I just want to quickly say, since you mentioned the film Black Panther, Theo, that I went to see the movie with Viola Davis, Woman King, yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It's an excellent movie, and it definitely helps build up self-esteem. And it was good to see the brothers and sisters run the Europeans off the continent. So I'm just encouraging everybody to see that. And then and the people, I have to say, they applauded all throughout the film because it was something that really lifted the spirits of the people. And even here, as we are in the diaspora, the same thing. But I want to give Percy a chance to give his phone number and the information as we get down to the last minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Once again, that movie showed when we come together and we put our heads together, how we can build and help lift each other up and to protect each other. You know. So yes. So my phone number, please use my phone number. It's 313-719-9921, and text me the word help. Anything that you heard that we discussed on, whether it was for getting in the trades, whether it was about getting the information out to get out to vote, if you need information about where to vote and when to vote, just text that word help in your first and last name, and I will personally get back with you and guide you in the route that you can go. But now the help organization that I have found has been quite helpful in building your block clubs up and giving you a plan of how to go and attack these concerns that you have for your community is to use the organization Moses. Moses is 313-549-0422, to help you build up your neighborhood block by block, house by house. I mean, it's time that we know the concerns that we have on our blocks, whether we have a senior that's on that block that might need help, if we have a young family that's on that block that might need help, if we have a person that's disabled some kind of way, when we know what they might be challenged with, there's so much information out here that can be given to you to help lift you up. I mean, how to repair your home and all this stuff. So, so use that organization for that. And then the other phone number, if you want to get involved with doing this surveying and canvassing, going door to door to get involved with the community polling issues, go to and that would be Black Progressive Action Coalition, BPAC is one quick way to remember, BPAC, and that address is 13305 West 7 Mile, That's on 7 Mile and Littlefield between Otter Drive and Schaefer. And the phone number for that, it would be 313-774-7830. You know, and they're paying $18 an hour, 6 hours a day, $108 $18 an hour, $108 a day. They work 7 days a week. Do the math. You're talking over $700 a week if you work 7 days. If you work 5 days, you're talking over $500 a week. So take advantage of that. And they work between 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock. All right?
Okay. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Theo, I'm going to let you close with your statement. I'll make my statement, and we're going to have this brother back.
All right. Well, Hood Research says voting builds self-respect. Respect yourself and vote. And follow Hood Research on Twitter. We have a Facebook page, website, and the telephone number for Hood Research is area code 248-234-2371. And remember, it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. And we at Hood Research seek out as much information as we can to share with you and encourage you to share with us. And thank you, Percy, for being on our program today.
And I'll close the show by saying, if you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you finish. We thank you for tuning in. We'll have this brother back. I'll post the information on my Facebook page, and we will see you next week. Peace to the audience.
Peace.
Feedback. Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BD Impinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.
Muscles, joints, or feet tired, achy, or distressed? Tried everything? Ringmaster Rubbing Oil is a vintage topical pain reliever, trusted for over 70 years, with a rich formula for the treatment of stubborn aches and
us along with you.
Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.